So basically what I'm looking for here is my goal is G. So I have to build a dominant seventh chord on a root that's 5 higher than G, a fifth higher. And so that's going to be, or a perfect fifth higher. So that's going to be D. And again, I like to have that nice big open space between my bass and tenor. So I'm going to score this like this, a perfect fifth here. Okay. And then, of course, we know that chordal sevenths have to resolve downwards. That continues to hold true now, even if we're in the applied chord or secondary dominant unit. This is an inner leading tone. You could go to D, but I like to go to G. And then this also would go to G. You don't want to go to B because then you're doubling the leading tone. Okay? And again, this idea, we saw this before with just dominant chords, dominant seventh chords resolving to tonic chords, where you could have a complete chord here and then an incomplete chord here. And that's perfectly acceptable. Okay? Good. So there's your 5, 7, and 5 going to 5. And guess what? You can do this for just about any diatonic chord. You can, what we call, tonicize it here. So let's do a different one now. We're going to do a 5, 7, a 4 going to 4. And of course, you can do these all in inversions. I'm not going to go through the inversions. That's something you could look at in previous chapters, how to just, resolve dominant seventh chords in inversion. So 5, 7, a 4 going to 4. Again, my goal, we're going to start with our goal, is an F. So 5 higher, perfect fifth higher than F is C. So I need a C dominant seventh. And remember, a dominant seventh is a major minor seventh chord. Okay, so I'm just going to go here. And again, I have to have a chromatic note. If you see these fraction chords, you need a chromatic note. If you don't have a chromatic note, it's almost always wrong. Okay, so make sure you have that chromatic note. Okay, our chordal seventh goes down. And again, complete chord to incomplete, perfectly acceptable. Good, we can keep going. Let's do a 2 chord. And we'll do these in the minor mode after I finish everything in the major mode here. So 5, 7, a 2. Going to 2. So my goal is D. I need an A, and I'm going to just put this down here just to save space. And I'm going to do this. Again, a dominant seventh chord on A, a major minor seventh chord on A. Okay, I'm going to resolve this up here, and sharing is totally fine, particularly when the resolution is in opposite directions with the other voice with which it's going to share. This chordal seventh is here, and this is up here. That is a perfectly good resolution. Complete to incomplete. Okay? You can do this for the 3 chord. Good, so our goal here is E. 5 higher than E is B. I'm just going to put the B down here. The perfect fifth higher is B. But I'll put it down here. And I'm just going to do this a little differently. So I need a B, D sharp, and an F sharp. My A goes down, D sharp is going to go up. And I'm going to go to the E here. So we've done the 4, the 5, the 2, and the 3. Let's do the 6. Six and C. Okay, it's going to be A. 5 higher, perfect fifth higher than A is E. Okay, and then my chordal seventh is going to go down. totally acceptable to have an incomplete resolution. Okay? Now let's do the minors. Okay, so if we're in the minor mode for C minor, again, your formations are going to look similar, very similar to what you had in C major, but we have to reconcile the accidentals. So let's look at what that would look like. So here we have a 5-7 of 5 going to 5, okay? And again, our goal is G, so perfect fifth higher than that is D. And then so here I need a D dominant 7th chord, and so that's a D, F sharp, A, C chord. But again, I have to reconcile with the key signature, so this has to be an A natural, okay? And then I will have the F sharp here, and then I will have the C. Okay, so you get, again, this is why this is called chromatic harmony, because you're using notes outside of the scale of C minor, okay? And then this is going to go down, and because we're in minor, we have to raise this. Okay, this can go up, and this can go down. Okay, and again, feel free to hit that space bar and just pause the video so you can copy along. Okay, and now let's do a 4 chord. Let's tonicize a 4. Goal is F. Here's a C. I need to put a C natural, right? Because there's an E flat in the key signature. B flat, you don't have to touch because the B flat's already in the key signature. Again, so you're always referring back to whatever key signature you're working with. So your chordal 7 goes down, and then there you go. Again, the note heads are the same if you wanted to compare back to the more, the beginning part of the video. But again, the accidentals are going to be very different. Okay, so this is why I'm doing this. Whenever the accidentals are going to be different, I always do a minor mode example as well. Okay, good. So then could we do a 2 chord? No, because in 2 that's a fully diminished triad. You don't tonicize a fully diminished triad. So I'm going to just skip, if you will, to the big 3. Okay, and big 3 is E flat. Okay, and 5 higher, perfect fifth higher than E flat is B flat. So here's that. And this is one of those situations which is kind of special where you have a fraction chord, a secondary dominant chord, or a applied chord, and you actually do not have any accidentals. Why? Because this is a relative key, meaning the key of E flat, and E flat is the goal here, has the same key signature as the little 1 chord or the tonic chord. Okay, and so I don't have to alter anything. There's an A flat in here already. B, D, F, A flat would be a dominant 7th chord on B flat. D goes up, A flat goes down, and again, I like to share that note. It's perfectly acceptable. So now we've done the 3, the 4, the 5. Let's do the big 6. Again, please pause the video, hit that space bar if you want to copy. Best way to use these videos is to get that staff paper out and literally do what I'm doing, because it gets not only in your mind, but also just kind of, you get used to writing these out. You learn more quickly when you're actively writing and thinking all at the same time. Okay, so here we have 5, 7, a 6 going to 6. Again, 6 is A flat, perfect fifth higher than A flat is E flat. So I need an E flat, B flat, G, and then I do need a D flat, right? Because that would be your chordal 7th with the dominant 7th chord built on E flat. So again, there's my chromatic note. Now we're back in, the usual situation where you have to have that chromatic note. Okay, and then of course that chordal 7th goes down, leading tone goes up by step. You could technically leap down to you could go to that E flat here. I don't know. I like to do as much stepwise motion as possible. That's why I'm sort of leaving that out. But it's correct. And again, that complete to incomplete, that's totally fine. And here we have this chord. How about the 7 chord? So, which does sometimes exist. Sometimes if you're doing music of the Renaissance, you get that lowered scale degree 7 if you're sort of doing a modal thing. So that would be F, C, I need an A natural, and then here's the E flat. And then here's my resolution. Okay, let's use this in a sentence. So we have a nice little 1, little 2, diminished 6 to a 5, 6, 5 of 5 going to 5. And again, we've seen dominant 7th chords and inversion, so just make sure you watch that chapter on those resolutions. So here I've got this nicely spaced out with root, 5th, 3rd root. Again, I'm doubling the root in this chord, which is really nice. At least a perfect 5th between your bass and tenor. Then I move to a 2 diminished 6. Got to double that chordal 3rd, which is the bass, so double the bass in that diminished triad, really important. Okay, again, nice stepwise motion up here. And then when we get to here, we have a D, F sharp, A, C chord, and that's going to be an A natural. Okay, and so if I just look at what note heads are available, this A common tone, that would just be very close to an A natural. That A flat could change to an A natural, and we'll get to this A flat ultimately resolving to a G over here in a moment. Okay, but because it's an applied chord, this applied chord is basically just a delay, so it's okay to go from an A flat to an A natural in this specific case. Okay, then my chordal 7th is a C, and I can't leap into that chordal 7th. I have to prepare it by common tone or stepwise motion, so I'm going to put the C here. And then we're just going to have a tiny little leap of a minor 3rd, okay, to the D. That's not a big deal. That's totally fine. Okay, and then we can have our chordal 7th go down, okay, and we can keep our common tone D here for that 5 chord, and then, of course, G here. Okay, so little 1, little 2 diminished 6 to a 5, 6, 5 of 5 going to 5. And, of course, the chordal 3rd, that is your that is your bass for your 5, 6, 5 of 5 chord. And look at that nice bass line. C, F, F sharp, G. Nice half-step motion there. And again, almost everything up here is stepwise or common tone with the exception of this little minor 3rd. Again, not a big deal.